Hi, thanks for joining the webinar, where CMA is introducing Email Manager 3.0 with a primary focus on the archive service, which now allows our customers to integrate directly with the mail server. At CMA, our core focus when we develop product is to help our customers be productive, get organized, work smarter, and stay efficient. We do this by integrating email applications to their existing ECM or other backend solutions. Examples are Laserfish, SharePoint, and EMC's application extender. Email Manager primarily focuses on correspondence conducted through email, business processes managed through email, and compliance factors related to email. Email Manager helps their customers save time and money because 90% of B2B correspondence is conducted through email. Most organizations list email as their most important or mission-critical application. And individuals are spending up to 25% or 2 hours of their day filing, organizing, and searching information associated with email. A survey conducted by AIM asked organizations what their top 3 issues were related to email, management, and archiving. As you can see, the top 2 issues are email archiving, compliance, and legal discovery. Whereas down the list, we get into end user productivity, findability, the ability to see across archived and live emails, sharing and collaboration, staff efficiency and misuse, and of course, reliably communicating with customers. We're often asked who our customers are and how do they use the product. The answer is Email Manager is a bit of a Swiss Army knife when it comes to email management. As you can see, we work across a variety of industries and application types. Email Manager customers are most often implementing the system where email is high value, either to a department, the entire organization, IT, or specific to a document type or business process. When we ask, Email Manager customers most often list these 4 benefits for using the system: productivity with search and collaboration, organization with compliance and filing, the ability to work smarter with tracking and analytics, as well as the capability to stay efficient with integration and automation. Next, we'll take a look at a product demonstration of Email Manager 3.0, where we'll demonstrate the Outlook integration as well as the mail server integration with the archive service. So starting here with the demonstration, just to give you a good idea of what happens, how it happens, and what the user experience looks like. I have an email that's come into the inbox. Nothing's happened with it, so we're starting a conversation here. And so this is a general inquiry. And so what Email Manager does is it sits inside of Outlook as an add-in and becomes part of the message. Now as a user, I can easily classify the document. And if you're familiar with document management and ECM systems, what this is doing is with the integration is just pulling that existing structure forward. So the content types or the templates, plus the fields, the lookups, the user-defined list, the drop-downs, everything that's already set up in the document management or the content management system is pulled through the Email Manager integration and exposed to the end user. And so that's for continuity or standardization. We'll call this a support request, and then we'll just archive it. So this is an inbound email. And then what happens here is we notify the end user that it has been uploaded. And so at this time, I may or may not be responding to the particular query. But if I come back to it, I hit reply. What's happening here is the metadata or the index structure that's applied originally is going to be tracked or held. And so this lends itself back to that automation component where we're not requiring end users to enter any more information than they have to. So here we'll just reply, and ultimately what happens in the send items, you get the same type of experience. Is we've got messages that have been tagged, and we're saying, hey, they've been archived, and visually in the preview pane showing you this, but with the custom category that says Email Manager has uploaded it to the specific content management system. In this scenario, we're using the Laserfish integration. So going back to the inbox, here's another email. Let's say it's an invoice. You know, regardless of what type of organization you are, you have to do some form of accounting. So we've already classified or tagged this conversation. Any future replies from us or from third parties on the conversation, again, automatically get tagged and classified. And the magic really starts to happen here in the search, because now we can initiate a search for related information as part of the message or in the preview pane. Here I'm going to launch the search grid from the task pane. I may be looking for the particular invoice, but I may also want to eliminate that document type and eliminate the date and the status. And what this is ultimately going to show me is all the documents in the system that have PO number 12345. So that could be the invoice, that could be the PO, that could be a delivery ticket, or any other document that we may have stored like that. So here very quickly I can see, okay, well here's the message, the attachment, and a previously added document with that same metadata structure. The point here being is with related records searching and capability, we can easily start to give the users benefit without asking them to do a whole lot. And ultimately what that does is that ramps up the adoption of the product and of the functionality, gets more useful information into the back-end system. So you can launch that same search here. I'll launch the search with the full query here, and that should narrow down where the PO wouldn't be included because I was looking for a particular document type, that document type being invoice. Your primary starting points here: indexing, searching, tracking. And then the questions that we get are, well, how do you start to automate this? Folks already have their existing folders, so they're already kind of doing some informal classification of messages and attachments inside of Outlook. We have what's called archive rules. And so you can create archive rules on the inbox, the sent box, or any subfolder inside of Outlook. And here you'll see I have 3 rules already set up. Setting up a rule is very simple. You name the rule, you pick the folder, and then you can put parameters on the rule. So if we want it to be a sent item and say we send it to a particular domain or to a particular email address, then we want to automatically come over here and apply the metadata, so the template or the content type, and then any other index values, field values that we want to automatically associate with this particular rule. We can do that right here. It's very simple. It's very similar to creating an Outlook rule that moves emails from your inbox to folders. This is a rule that moves the emails from Outlook into your document management system, and also applies the metadata at the same time. So what I'll do here real quick, you can see we only have one document in each of these folders, and so what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and drag and drop invoice into the invoices subfolder, application into the applications folder, and the city center project into contracts. And so what you'll see here now is this new item in the folder, and it's got the green category, so then we know it was automatically uploaded and uploaded with this information. And so this is a mortgage application. The message as well as the attachment have been uploaded, and we have the option to upload the attachment as a separate record as well. So again, the same scenario here, City Center, we wanted that to go to contracts rather than accounting or client services. And invoices here, we wanted this to be filed underneath accounting versus contracts or client services. So it allows you to allow people to use Outlook the way they already do and automate things for them. You know, that is the basis of the Outlook integration. There are some convenience features here. One thing that we can do is set a default template or default content type. An example here might be that I'm in HR. I've got the HR app and I want to automatically have new messages that I create default to this particular template or content type. You can also set up the add-in to query a desktop client or a web client. And so that's configured by the admin but deployed to the user, and then the user can pick which application they'd like to launch. And basically this is what's launching when they hit the query buttons. Taking the same concept of archive rules here in Outlook, what we've done, and one of the major features that we've added in the 3.0 release, is the ability for IT, this is the admin console, so this is how all this stuff gets set up. And it's pretty simple, probably takes about 30 minutes to configure your fields and deploy the enterprise. And that's what we were just looking at. Over here, we now have an additional module that allows you to create this same rules experience that an Outlook user would have and simply deploy that as a service where we're connecting directly to a mailbox. You've got here, you create your rule name. Over here, it populates your list of rules that are created. You put in the mailbox that you want to monitor. You choose the date that you want to go backwards to. So if we want to start today, we choose today. If we want to do a mailbox creation date, so we want to go back and historically grab everything that's associated with that mailbox and put it into the document or content management system or the records management system, then we can do that here. Or we can just choose a very specific date and say, okay, we want the service to go backwards to this date and then forwards. So this is using web services APIs to connect to the mail server and pull information directly from the mail server into the document management or the content management system. And again, here we can apply the conditions. So we can narrow which emails within that mailbox are going to be pulled in, again, to, from, date, subject, depending on the need, the business need here. So typically what we've seen so far is that you're either looking for a very specific email type or information inside of an email, or you're looking to grab everything. So an example would be, let's say we want to grab everything that comes into, permits at abccity.org. So we would grab all of those messages and put them into a template or a repository, and then allow the document management system to pick that up and apply additional metadata or route that out for approval. The very narrow situation is one of our customers uses this particular service to monitor bounce policies. So their fulfillment department is sending out thousands and thousands of invoices per month, and when they get bounces on their email address, what that does is it picks the email up with the bounce code and puts it into the document management system, which then starts a workflow that triggers a snail mail process. So they're sending that out via regular U.S. Postal. And again, same concept here. Depending on how you set up the rule, it allows you to make it very narrow or broad, how you apply the additional metadata. So we've got to put it somewhere in a location, give it a template or a content type, and from there it runs until we stop it. And so what that ultimately looks like over here in the system is you run the service, and you'll see we ran the service here on this particular mailbox. It's uploading these Outlook items. And so again, we're able to map to, from, date, subject, all those types of things, grab the emails, the messages, put them over into the content management or document management system. Now they're searchable. Now they can trigger workflows or notifications, and they become part of the record set. And so that is the high-level demonstration for Email Manager 3.0, some of the new features, specifically ending here on the archive service. Thank you for joining us today. You can find out more information about Email Manager and the archive service at integratedcma.com. Email us at info@ and follow our Twitter handle at IntegratedCMA. Thanks again, and we hope to hear from you soon.